Hello, how's everybody doing? Back again, another one. So today we are discussing raising children, but we are speaking and having a conversation from an elderly's point of view, right? It's very important. It's a dying culture. You know, uh, Going and getting the voice of reason, the voice of wisdom, those gems from your grandmother, your grandfather, or just an elderly person in the community or in your community, you know. There are a few things that, when I was younger, I was told um, from an elderly person, whether it be my grandmother or one of her friends or just somebody in the community, right? I've heard so many different things like that stuck with me. The two that I'm going to give, the reason why I'm going to give these two is because these are two things that are so they're not like deep, but I never listened to them when I never paid attention or cared for them or, what I'm saying, like, thought they were anything special, you know, up until recently. Right. And the first one, be it as it sounds, was never leave the house without your ID and a couple dollars to get home. Make sure that you have enough money to get home from wherever you decide that you're going. Right. And there was one time that I was just out in the city and just spending, being being young and dumb. And I freaking overspent. And I would think I was like $1.25 short to get back on the Long Island Railroad to get home. And being the Virgo that I am a prideful individual. So I couldn't see myself like going around asking people like, oh, you gotta go to all you got. So like it was just a real hard situation. It was a real stressful situation. Anyway, I ended up like hopping on the train, not paying for the ticket or whatever. To the conductor, spoke to the conductor, explained the situation. I ended up getting home, but it wasn't until that situation that I actually started taking that those words of wisdom seriously. All right. And the other thing that, I was told ever since I was younger, I wasn't this smiley when I was younger, right? So, my grandmother always used to say, my grandmother and my aunt always used to say, you get more wrinkles from frowning than from smiling. You get more wrinkles from frowning than from smiling. Smile, smile. It wasn't until like recently, and I mean recently, like the last couple of years, and I'm going to be 38 in the next few days. It wasn't until the last few years that I actually started smiling more than frowning. I think that it's helped me to stay young looking, if you ask me. So those are two like not so deep. There's other people and they got so many deep things that they've heard, but those are my two fun things that stuck with me and they stick with me and I hear them. Let me see. But if I had something like if I had advice that I could give to an elder, hmm, if I could be so lucky, I would say like I would tell an elder or I would have a conversation with an elder and I would just like I would try to tell them or get them to understand that we are moving in as time moves and as time progresses, you know what I'm saying? Like the wisdom to have the wisdom is to be able to be flexible and to be able to move with the time. So there are elders who in my sense of the word elders, they're the true definition of an elder. Like they're able to go in different times, they're able to move with time and they're able to have the wisdom of that time and able to communicate and like relate and be able to give the message to younger people in different age groups, different age groups, in different ages of time. Now, there's some elders that I do know that they want the respect and they want to be revered as elders, but they don't conduct themselves, or they don't they have the ways of being an elder or having the knowledge from a specific time, and they enforce that, you know, don't talk back, I'm an elder, da da da. And it's just like, I'm not talking back, I'm expressing myself. Like, and there's some elders who, you know, they feel like I said what I had said, I'm the elder, respect it, and that's that. And I want to give those elders advice and say that you know, that's, in my opinion, not the true definition of an elder, with all due respect. With all due respect. So my advice is, you know, and to keep that, because you're needed. Elder people are, the elders are needed, are needed. But we need the elders. We don't need people who are just up in age. You know, like we need our younger generations, we need them to get back on track. We need them to hear things that when they don't listen and, you know, those things happen, they could think back to that conversation and be like, oh snap, see? And that, you know what I'm saying, not where we're headed right now. So my advice to elders right now are, you know, as time progresses, like move with the time, also move with the time in that elderly fashion. So well, I will say though, there are some elders who do move with the time. They move so much with the time that they went from being the strictest of parents, the strictest of you know, an individual raising their kid, their, you know, whoever in the community, to being this free spirited, I don't want to say gentle parenting, but a lot of them gentle parent, like, oh, this my grandbaby, he can have whatever, da da da. Just being so relaxed and so laid back. Me personally, I'm jealous, but I'm gonna be honest with you. And on a serious note, um, it's good. It has its positives, and if it's done the right way, it's good. Because like I was just now saying, moving with the times, we have to understand that what worked in 1970, 1980, even 1990 is not working and will not work in 2020 and 2025 and going into 2030. We're in a new day and age. Kids are kids have grown into a different way, whether it be softer, whether it be more sensitive, they've grown into a different way. So you have to treat, and you have to teach, and you have to grow an individual based off of that individual in that time. So well, I do understand that there are grandparents, there are elders who are more mindful, and um, they felt like they may have done a mistake or did something too much when they were raising their kids, and they're trying to do it differently, and that's all good. But hey, you're not being fair. You're not being fair. You're not being fair. Because sometimes a lot of you guys are being overly, and you're spoiling, and then you're being counterproductive to what the actual parent is actually trying to do, and with their child. There has to be a balance, like, because you can't step over the parents or the guardian's toes, you know what I'm saying, to the point where the child is coming to you and disregarding them because you're going to give them what they want. In hindsight, like, to wrap it all up, I thank the elders. My elevation and my growth, 85% of that comes from conversations with elderly people. It comes from advice from elderly people, comes from, you know, just sitting down and even just listening to other people vent and talk about their stuff with me. Like, um, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I can't wait to be an elder so that, you know, I could help people in that way. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I can't wait for this conversation.